Hello and welcome to VCF Automation 9.1 Greenfield Setup. My name is Mahar Al-Asfar and I am a product marketing engineer within the VMware Cloud Foundation division at Broadcom. In part 3 of the series, we will go through creating a provider content library so it's automatically shared to all managed tenant organizations. But before we jump into the demo, you can see the VCF 9.1 lab diagram on the screen, so I highly recommend watching part 1 of this series if you have not already. That video provides the full context for the VCF 9.1 infrastructure we are using and how the environment was set up. With that out of the way, let's jump right in. To access the provider management portal, we pass system as the organization name and provide the username and password of the provider administrator. In VCF Automation 9.1, provider admins can create and manage content libraries to host the images used by the VM service when provisioning virtual machines. This provider content library is centrally managed and automatically shared with all existing and future tenant organizations. To create a provider content library, we create that library from the provider management portal by clicking on content libraries and creating a new content library. We'll provide a name. We'll call this provider shared content library. And you have the option here to subscribe to an external library as the source. So this can be any published library in one of the vCenters in your organization where you're going to treat it as the source for all the images. We're going to provide the URL and click next. Now, here we're going to configure the content library in the two regions we have in this environment. So selecting US West as the first region creates the content library in the respected vCenter and publish it to any second regions that you add in this list. So since we have US East also to make this library available in, so selecting US East and its storage class, this will create a content library in the respective vCenter, which will be subscribed to the published content library that we've added in the US West. So the order of the regions that you list here matters in terms of which content library is published and which content library will be subscribed. After that, we'll click Next. We'll review our summary and confirm our settings and click Confirm. And this will prompt you to trust the certificate of the vCenter. So we'll accept that, and then we'll trust also the CA certificate. Once the content library is ready, you can see what region is available in, if it's subscribed or not, and the version, depending on how many times you sync the library. Clicking into the library will give us access to more details, the most important out of which here in terms of the creation date of the content library and the storage classes it support. Having 2 storage classes in this list or more will tell us what region this content library is available in. Also, clicking sync can do on-demand synchronization. If you've added recently new images, you can come to the content library and enforce the sync if you don't want to wait. You can also delete it and edit the content library. The content library items will show us the images that is hosted and been synchronized. We support ISO and OVA, which is referred to as template in this table. Also, if you want to look at all the content library items centrally in one place across all content library that you manage, you can click on the content library items. This will list all the images across all the content library created. In this demo, we only have one, so we're only seeing the provider shared content library. But this would be a centralized page if you want to list everything. And also, you're able to upload new images to this content library from the upload option. This concludes our part 3, creating a provider content library. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.